Okay, perfect. Hi guys, my name is Nisa Pisa. Welcome back to my channel. Folks, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna crust it in salt. I'm not gonna flambe it. And I'm certainly not gonna serve it on a bed of mustard greens. I am sad. For the past couple of days, I have been feeling nothing but abject melancholia and moroseness, and I don't really know why. Everything is fine. My arm isn't strong enough to hold my tripod like this. I'm gonna be doing a wall art tour today because some kind, gentle soul on Tumblr said it might be interesting, and it is the least effort I can put into a video while still having one up for you to watch, but more so for me to create. Because this video requires me to wander around my apartment, I need my camera to be mobile, but I didn't just wanna hold it in my hand because then this would happen. Don't you hate it? Yeah, exactly. So I'm doing us both a favor and I'm just gonna carry my tripod around from place to place. I would like to make it abundantly clear that I am both fine and safe. The source of my melancholy is largely that it's November and also that there's been a recent minor development in my personal life that I'm not gonna go into detail on because that's my business, but it might cause a modicum of change to come to my status quo. And that's really troublesome. Like many of you, I'm sure, I love when nothing ever happens. I guess I gotta... As you can see, I'm very casually dressed. I can't even really see you right now because I took my glasses off earlier. See, now I'm gonna go from being a beautiful woman talking to you to being a beautiful woman talking to you who also listened to a podcast in 2015 and heard about Warby Parker. Ow, my hip. I had kind of a bad day yesterday and I'm choosing to let it cause today to also be a bad day. So, if you're noticing red stains on my pants, it's not blood, it's red acrylic paint from Halloween. But if it were blood, would that be cool? What are your thoughts? I live in a really old apartment building in Boston, so it's full of ghosts and there's cracks in my walls. That's where the ghosts come out. The paint job in here is bad because it just gets landlord specialed whenever anyone moves out. So there might be smudges on the wall from furniture being moved around. Listen, if you comment on it, I will be so embarrassed. So please pretend you don't see anything. We're actually not even starting in my bedroom because that's where the most interesting stuff is. So why would I start with that? We're gonna start with my studio, salon, sewing room. It's gonna be really quick because none of this wall art's mine. This is my roommate's bedroom when I had a roommate. So all this wall art is hers and I don't know the significance or origin of any of it. Except for this, I put this here. The reason I put this Pisces print here is because in this frame was an Aries print from the same seller that if I can find, I will put in the description. And when my roommate moved out, I slid my Pisces print in over hers, stealing this room away from her and dominating her emotionally. Knowing my ex-roommate and current best friend, she probably found this in the garbage. Okay, that's done. Let's go somewhere else now. Oh, that is a painting that she did at some point in time. I don't know when. It's nice. I like the hydrangeas in the foreground. Now we're in my living room. You can tell because we're alive in here. So these are not technically pieces of wall art because they're not on the wall, but these are two canvases we found in the garbage that we decided to keep. And so now I have them. Oh, that's my television. I was like, why can you see me? We keep them behind my TV. That's my master's degree, sitting in dust behind a box of rocks. Great. I live so lavishly. This is a little whale tapestry. It's two gorgeous humpback whales swimming. I got this on Society6 like 6 years ago. And if I can find the seller, again, I'll put it in the description. This is a little octopus tile that was my ex-roommate's and I love it so much. I love octopuses. They are my favorite type of sea creature. Well, I don't know if that's true. I really like orcas as well. I think I like octopuses a little bit more than orcas because they're so freaky looking, whereas orcas are very conventionally attractive and I really respect that about them. This is a little ceramic lizard that my old boss at my job gave to me when she retired. I think she's a diva. I love her very sharp eyebrow. There was also just already a nail here from a previous tenant at some point, so I just hung the lizard up there, and she's been having a great time watching over my living room. I do not know the origin of this painting. I think it was from the garbage, but it's lovely, and I think it really fits right here, especially with everything else on this wall. So I just knelt down on an ottoman, and then the ottoman like tipped over. This is a little piece of art that was my roommate's, and I don't know where she got it. It's fine. I don't really have strong feelings about it. This is the most beautiful piece of art that I own. This is a painting done by yours truly of a trout. Some people have argued that it's a salmon. It is not a salmon, it's a trout. I'm just not good at painting. And I gave her lipstick because while I was painting it, I started thinking the song Trouty Mouth from Glee. And then I was like, I want to put more emphasis on her mouth. And because I gave her lipstick, I also gave her blush and some false lashes. So that's my trout painting. Over here is a much more technically impressive self-portrait that my roommate, ex-roommate, current best friend, did of herself, which is implied by me saying it's a self-portrait. Everything's falling apart. On a solo trip to Mexico she took. While she was on that trip to Mexico, I was here and I was getting prepared to buy a new couch, the couch I'm currently kneeling on right now. And in order to do that, I had to get my old couch out of the apartment. I guess I can film myself while I'm talking about this. There's no reason for me to just film a painting. I needed to get my old couch out of here, and it was a very large wooden frame couch from the furniture company, Jordan's Furniture. And in order to get it in this apartment when we moved in here, the movers had to take one of our doors off the hinges. So I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I'm just a tiny, petite, quivering ingenue. I don't know how to use big, scary tools like screwdrivers. Also, I'm only one person, so even if I can get the door off the hinges, I'd still have to get the couch out of here. Since the couch was broken, and that's why I was replacing it, I decided to embark on a 3 to 4 day journey of destroying the couch with my bare hands and a saw. So basically I like cut the upholstery off of the couch until it was just a frame. And I was bringing it down in pieces to like the garbage area at my building. And then I was sort of halfway sawing through the wooden frame. I don't know if you guys know this, but wood is actually kind of strong. So sawing was taking way too long. So I put on this pair of like 4.5 inch platform sandals I own, and I just started kicking through the beams with my legs. And then I got my new couch, and I hate my couch. It's from Wayfair. I hate it so much. Don't buy anything from Wayfair. What the hell? One of my lights is out in my other chandelier. You know, I didn't know that. I never turned the big light on in this room. This feels so alien to me. These two gorgeous flower paintings up here were done by my late grandmother. She was an avid painter. When she died, there were literally dozens of paintings that she left behind for me and my cousins and my mother. And so these two paintings are mine, and I think they're gorgeous, and they make me think about my grandmother, who I love very much. Why would I end such a nice thing with a goofball shot of me like that? I'm the worst. I realize I'm coming across as kind of unstable in this video. Please know it's not my intention. And again, like, truthfully, I'm chilling. Okay, so my hair actually looks so bad, and it's all flat in the back because it's not dry yet. And also it's freshly washed. I have to go into my bedroom now to film the rest of this because that's where the rest of my wall art is. But I'm very comfortable. I'm seated, quite frankly. So I think I'm just gonna sit here for a second and then we'll go, okay? So just relax. Something has changed within me. Something is not. Oh my god, I forgot I had art in here. Okay, this is my hallway. I only have one hallway because I live in a small apartment, but I have put up 3 photographs that I took when I was in college. I guess it makes the most sense to explain these in chronological order, so let's start with the central one because it's the one I took furthest in the past. This is a photograph of 2 store mannequins in a little shop off of Borgo Pinti in Florence, Italy. I took when I was living there. This photo is in black and white because it's an analog photo that I shot on black and white film. This was part of a street photography assignment I was tasked with. So one evening in the fall of 2014, I took my camera, different camera, obviously, film camera, but this tripod, this very tripod that I'm holding in my hand right now. And I started just wandering the streets of Florence and taking pictures of stuff that I thought was interesting. I like this photo a lot. I like the way that the mannequins are dressed. I like the framing of it. I like the graffiti right on the side of the door frame. I like that somebody's moped was parked in the foreground. Also, when I look at it, it reminds me of the just dull granularity of my life in Florence. Like, this is not a particularly exciting subject matter for a photograph, but it became part of my routine because I walked by this place every day. So I was so intimately familiar with it that I knew that it was there, and I knew it might make a cute photo for my assignment, and it did. This photo is from later in the school year for that same class. This is a girl in a bedroom removing a sweater, and the girl in question is actually me. Is this... Oh my god. Guys! Like, can I be loved genuinely? I'm just so disgusting. I didn't realize my photo was so dusty. Whatever. I can't find my little, like, duster. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's inside of the frame. This is me in my bedroom in Florence when I was 21. I was freshly 21 in this picture. This is for a group of photos I did where the theme that I came up with was imagining how I looked through the eyes of an imaginary romantic partner. So all of the photos in this set were me sort of like posed around my bedroom in like my underwear and stuff and like looking pensively out of windows. And there was one where I pretended to be like straddling a person, like as if I was straddling someone in bed and they were like looking up at me. That's the angle I took the photo from. I like put the camera like on my pillow and propped it up with, I think, like a tin of mints or something, and then set a timer for it. I really liked this collection of photos. It put me really out of my comfort zone because I was like a huge dork at this point in my life, and I am still, but in like a much more alluring sexual way. Obviously, you guys know that from watching me. This one is one of my favorites. This is from the following school year. This is my senior year at Sarah Lawrence, and there's more photos from this range in my bedroom that we'll see in a second. This is the kitchen of the suite that I lived in when I was a senior in the Rothschild building, which only means anything to like a handful of people watching who are Sarah Lawrence students or alums. This was for my digital photography class that I took as a senior. It was a year-long class that I only took 1 semester of because I really didn't like my professor. And also I had these 2 kids in my class who were sophomores. So technically I outranked them, and due to undergraduate power scaling, I could have defeated them. But they were the photography assistants in the art building. And this was the professor's first class he was teaching. So basically these 2 kids would kind of like steamroll the professor and redirect the conversation in class to kind of whatever they wanted to talk about. And they were very annoying and smug, and I could not stand them. So I kind of just put my head down, did my work for a semester, and then dropped class. What I did for this shoot was I basically built an effigy of myself out of this green army coat that obviously I owned because it was 2015. And my boots, these are a pair of 10i Doc Martens that I used to own, and balloons. So I basically just like built this version of myself and staged it in different places around campus. And that was the project. And I actually didn't really have any intent behind it. And then during one of our critiques, there was this very beautiful other Black woman in our class who I like had such a crush on, and she was like so cool and artistic. And she looked at my work and she was like, oh my gosh, like this is such a like salient statement on how fragile and artificial sometimes like personhood and identity can feel for women of color in in America in today's day and age. And I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I was going for. You like totally read me like a book. As you can see, it looks like I'm taking a step, which is impossible because this is not a real person. That's because I propped up the boot in front with a roll of duct tape that I edited out of the photo. You might be wondering, hey, cool, but like, how is this coat floating? Well, it's on a hanger that I edited the hanger out of, that I tied with string to the outside of my door frame, and I like taped the balloon to the front of the hanger, and I edited all of that out. I love these photos. I think they're very funny, and I put in a lot of work in this project, and they just remind me of what I can accomplish when I actually put effort into stuff. Now we're in my bedroom where the magic happens. And by magic, I mean hangers on the floor. We're gonna start in one spot and then move our way around. So starting off, we have some religious iconography, an 18 karat gold icon. We have some rosary beads. We have a rhinestone crucifix. That actually might be diamonds. Rhinestone crucifix. These were left to me by my late paternal grandmother, and I have them hung up because it makes me feel closer to her. This is another photo from that same photography class. This assignment, I basically gave people a set of colorful makeup and paint and asked them to paint on themselves, and I took pictures of it. This one was really great because it allowed me to like entirely outsource all of the work. It was basically just point and shoot, girl. This is a piece of art that I bought, I think from Society 6. And again, if I know the seller, I will supply that information. This is another piece of photography that I did in college. This is my gorgeous friend Bennett. This was just me taking pictures of my friends and then photoshopping religious art next to them. Mostly just as a test to see how well I could Photoshop things. This is a little tapestry. You know what, I'm gonna turn on the big light. Oh, that Kaleidos sent me back when they used to send me PR. And I think it's really cool. I mostly put it up when I first moved in because I needed something to fill up this empty space on my wall, and then I never put anything else here because it's mostly covered by my door, so there was no point in adding additional stuff there. This is my mirror. That's me. Hello. This is a little painting that I did of a tube of ColourPop So Juicy lip gloss. There's nothing really more to say about that. This is my undergraduate degree from Sarah Lawrence. This is maybe my single most millennial piece of art. This is a quote from the television program The West Wing that my friend Naomi gave to me as a Christmas gift like 8 years ago. This is a stuffed penis that that I made in 2020 out of the bottom half of a Janelle Monáe merch t-shirt that I was cropping. And I ended up cropping it too short, so I don't have the t-shirt anymore, but I do still have the stuffed penis I made out of it. His name is Vane Wilson, and I stuffed him with mostly stuffing, and then one of the testes is actually full of beans that I took out of a stuffed animal I didn't want anymore. I love Vane Wilson. I like his presence here, and also people comment on him a lot when they see him in the background of TikToks. Some people think he's a real sex toy, which is so funny because why would he be up here? No, he is soft and squishy. That's the beanball. You know, you get it. We have more octopus art here. This is a very large tapestry of an octopus. I love this. I like looking up at it. It's above my plant to keep it safe. This is a little wooden print of Frida Kahlo that one of my oldest friends got for me in Mexico. Like, gosh, I don't know, like 8 or 9 years ago. This is a little heart mirror that a different friend got me at Frida Kahlo's house, also in Mexico, 2 years ago. I myself am not even like particularly like a Frida Kahlo stan, but I do think these pieces are very pretty, so I have them here. This is a postcard that my mom sent me when I was in Florence and she was visiting Rome. The back of this is a very enthusiastic message about how much fun my mother and stepfather were having in Rome. This postcard is all creased because for the past several years, I didn't realize that every piece of ephemera that has handwriting of the people you love on it is very precious. I don't know if I'm just like sentimental because I'm in my 30s now, but like I keep everything she gives me that has her handwriting on it because I want as many pieces of it as I can possibly get, because one day she won't be able to write to me anymore, you know? On the complete opposite end of sentimentality, this is literally just like a postcard from a Sephora perfume sample that I put up because I think the picture is chic and I like it a lot. This is a little cat with bananas on its head from the Japanese artist Pepe Shimada, who makes beautiful art of cats in this style. I've been following Pepe Shimada for years and years and years. I was devastated because for a very long time they didn't ship their art to the United States. And then in like 2020, they put out a pack of postcards that you could get on Amazon. And so I bought the postcards and I refuse to send anyone any of them. They are all little pieces of art for me and me alone. I love this art. I think it's enchanting. I love cats. If I talk about it for too long, I will start crying. This is a drawing of me that was given to me by one of my subscribers. I think it was last summer. I was doing this thing where I was giving away some of my books and she offered to take some books off of my hands. I went to go meet her, and in exchange for the book, she gave me this gorgeous drawing with a personal note to me on the back. And I really love it. I think it's stunning, and it lives here on my little gallery wall. This is a card from my uncle, and I like this little fish on it. It's velvety. This and this are two vintage advertisement prints that I bought on one of my trips to Paris. And I love old school advertising like this. When I was in college, I had a ton of posters that were these like old school sort of like Art Nouveau adjacent liquor ads. It's one of my like favorite sorts of art styles. I bought these at a little vendor at a vintage curio market that my friend Ivana took me to. The woman selling them did not speak any English. So she and I had this, she was like this very sweet woman. And so she and I had this like almost incomprehensible, like broken French interaction for me to purchase these two posters. But we were both like laughing at the end of it because like we were both aware like, oh my God, we are so out of our depth for this interaction with each other. This is a birthday card that was sent to me by my gorgeous friend Paula Bennett, who is a singer-songwriter who I think has a gorgeous angelic voice. And it's a fluffy kitty and it says, "Another year closer to the grave." This is a little photo of me when I was a child, braiding my own hair badly, but I love the enthusiasm. I'm like clearly having fun. And I like having this photo around because it reminds me of what I still do now, which is just entertaining myself with myself. I love solitude and I love being alone. And this picture of baby Nisa enjoying herself alone is very apt for me. Whatever. Just kidding. This is important. This is my 100,000 subscriber plaque from YouTube. I hit 100,000 subscribers in March of 2021, and it was a really momentous occasion. And I love my plaque and I love looking at it. And it reminds me that all of it, all of the struggles of content creation are worth it because this is another photo from Florence. This was one of the first film photos I ever took, which is crazy because like it doesn't even look that bad, and I really struggled with film photography when I was first learning it. I think this is near San Lorenzo Market, maybe? I like this guy a little off-center with the bike. I like the arches, I like the architecture of it. I like how busy it is. There's so many people and everyone's moving, so there's like a slight blur to all of it. I really enjoy it. These are two sets of negatives from photo. Well, they're not negatives, you get it. They're like film reel prints of some photos that I took. We're not gonna go into detail about like what each of these has because it's like a lot of pictures and like not a lot of the pictures even ever got fully printed. But I like having them here because they fill up the space, and also I like looking at them. And also like, what's the point of me having saved these for 10 years if I'm not ever gonna like have them out to look at, you know what I mean? These are two postcards from this restaurant called Bar Chino. There's one in Brookline and there's one in Watertown. And I have them here because I like the logo of this little bird, but I hate this restaurant. The food I had there was so bad. Girl, it was like this bizarre pasta dish with bits of rotisserie chicken in it. It was so unpleasant. There were like olives in it too. I didn't know what was happening. And then finally, the last thing on the gallery wall, kind of hidden behind this empty gold picture frame that I keep behind my Monstera because I love interior decorating. So this is an imaginary canceled gaming YouTuber that I invented for like a one-off joke for window shopping like a year ago. His name was Chris Plays, but I decided to change his name midway through the bit because I was nervous there'd be an actual YouTuber named Chris Plays. So I named him Gris Plays with a G. And so this is a picture I drew of what his apology video thumbnail would look like. I wrote in that the video has 5 million views. He looks pretty perturbed and disheveled. His hair looks kind of oily. I put him in an Umbrella Corporation shirt, which is the like shadowy evil mega corporation from the Resident Evil series. I don't even know if I explained all of this in the video. I just keep it here because it makes me laugh. Okay, next wall. This is another smaller octopus tapestry. I like octopuses and I also really like cuttlefish. I just love underwater freaks. This is a picture, a composite photo of moon phases. This is actually my stepfather's. I emotionally manipulated him into letting me have it when I moved out of home. This is one of those like shifting pictures and it has a lot of women from different art on an I-beam. It's like a, you know, take on that famous photo of all the men sitting on the I-beam eating lunch from like the 30s or whatever. I put it there to partially cover up this giant fucking crack in my wall. My best friend Ivana bought that for me in Amsterdam during a layover. This is the interesting wall. Everyone loves this wall. Whenever I have people over, everybody compliments this wall. Everybody loved this wall. Everybody loved baby Nisa and her cool mirror wall. So let's talk about the mirror wall. This is 16 9x9 mirror panels. 4 of these are from IKEA and the rest of them are from Amazon. They're actually wedding table centerpiece platforms. They just happen to be little square mirrors. So I was like, not in my house, they're not. I actually think this is a bad idea to have because sometimes I use this mirror wall to like check my outfit when I'm getting dressed in the morning. And I don't think it's good for my self-image to literally see my own body in fragments. So that's not incredible. But anyway, I love my little mirrors. I think it's cool. It's my like favorite part of my apartment. Let's talk about what's in between them. This is a little Josephine Baker print that I've had since I was like 18 and I lost for several years and then found again when I moved into this apartment. I love Josephine Baker. I think she's really cool and people tell me I look like her sometimes, which is a huge ego boost. This is another Pepe Shimato cat postcard of a giant cat who serves as a train tunnel and smaller cats that are sitting on the planes on either side of the train tracks. This is another photo that I edited of a friend of mine. This is either in Urbino or Arezzo. I think it's Urbino. Urbino's a really cool city. It's like a fortress city and it feels super haunted. 2 more Pepe Shimato postcards. You might be noticing these little paintings in little circles. I made these paintings. This one is a little snake curled up on itself with green eyes. This is a blue woman with curly blue hair. This is a series of flowers. And this is a Ranchu goldfish, which is one of my favorite types of fish. I like them because they are so fat and they're so cute and I think they're adorable. I painted these in early 2021. Because I had told a guy that I was casually dating that I paint as a hobby. And then he asked to see some of my paintings. And I was like, oh no, I haven't painted in like years. That's just a cool sounding hobby that I tell people that I do because it makes me seem artistic and cultured. So I sat down and I painted all 4 of these and then sent him pictures like, oh, and this one was from like last year, even though it was from the last 15 minutes. Because I love lying. This is a print by the artist Payal Kumar, who I know personally, brag. Pile's really cool. They are really talented, really smart, and this is a print that says decolonize your thirst. I like it because I think it looks cool, and also because when I was younger, I had a crush on a revolving door of nondescript white boys who didn't really care about me, and I think that this would have been a really powerful message for somebody to tell me in my youth. Anyway, this is a weird little glass Coke advertisement that I bought at Retrospect Vintage in Philly a couple years ago. I think it is so cool. Again, I love vintage advertisements. I don't know if this is like a real ad that existed or was sort of fabricated in the style of vintage ads and is just an art piece. But either way, I like it a lot, and I like that it's glass. And because of where it is in my room, it never actually gets to appear in the background of my videos for either my YouTube channel that we're on now or my TikTok, which is kind of a shame because I think it's cool. This is a large format version of the special USPS Year of the Boar Lunar New Year stamp from 2019. I think this is beautiful. It's like one of my favorite parts of this fall. Sometimes it's visible in the background of my window shopping videos because of where I film them, and I like looking at it while I'm editing. This is a poster that I think I just bought at like a bookstore or something. I love nature, and if I knew how to drive, I think the only thing I would do with that ability would be driving to and from different national parks. I love the hugeness of nature. I love feeling small and vulnerable. Part of the reason I like camping is because it's dangerous and it makes me feel close to death. I love it. It makes me feel so human. That's why I enjoy it. This is a poster of the moon, different sides of the moon from National Geographic. This is one I took of the sky and the tops of buildings and the very top in the bottom left-hand corner of the carousel in Piazza della Repubblica in Florence. This one is around the back of the Gallery of Art in Florence where Michelangelo's David is. I lived really close to it. It's a long exposure photo. I set my tripod up in the middle of the sidewalk and then set the shutter and walked away. So that blur in the middle is me. This is just like a photo of me being dramatic. This is another one of me being dramatic, but like my pose is so nasty. I love this picture. I'm 100% wearing a flared circle skirt from H&M in it. And that's okay, God forgives us all. It is hurting my neck so bad to crane upwards like that. Okay, now we've reached the most important. So beginning, we have 4 other photos from that same set that I explained earlier where I built the little effigy of myself. Oh, and on the end, we have a smaller version of that photo. You'll notice a lot of my stuff isn't framed, and that's because I'm inept. One of the things I did for this was I made a bunch of faces for the dummy version of myself out of makeup wipes, where I would put on makeup and I would just wipe it off in a very deliberate way to create an imprint of my face. This is me taking a shower and I love it. I love that the water's on. I had to take this one really quick because I started to feel guilty about wasting water. But I love the way that it's peeking, or that I'm peeking out of the shower like this. And just the way, the expression that is created when you have to close your eyes like this and keep your mouth so straight is kind of naturally very like pensive and morose, and it just works for a shower scene like this. Also, the showers in my suite had these great overhead lights, and so this lighting is just all ambient lighting from the room. I didn't set anything up. Like, this is just in the shower. This one is great too. It's me getting ready for the day and putting on makeup. You can see the reflection of my palette in the desk mirror, and then in the drawer is all my other faces for like the other days of the week. And then here she is getting ready for the day. This one was really funny. Because I had to stand on a chair and angle it so that obviously I wasn't visible in the mirror, but I had to stand on a chair and like hang my hanger from the ceiling with like duct tape and string. Now she's like holding the dress up in front of herself in the mirror. And this one I like because somehow I managed to get the expression here like kind of hopeful looking. Like maybe she really likes this dress and she's excited to greet the day. It's not all, you know, doom and gloom and depression. And then she's walking out the door. So it's like taking you through the morning routine of this version of myself that I've made. Like I said, I love this set of photos. It was very fun and difficult to put together, and everybody at my critique thought it was super cool, and I got a really good grade on it, which is all that really matters. And then finally, the mother. This is my giant poster of Mount Everest that I have brought with me to 3 different apartments. The guiding light, she watches over me while I sleep. I love Mount Everest so much, I think about Mount Everest every day. I don't think about Mount Everest every day, but I think about Mount Everest a lot because this is in my room, so I have to look at it every day. I always think about getting it framed, and I don't because it would be kind of expensive because it's so big, but I really ought to. I can't just keep taping it to the walls for the rest of my life. I'm 31. I have to frame things. Anyway, that's my wall art tour. I hope this was fun for you guys. This was fun for me. I like talking about my things and the places I've been and the things I've done and the art that I've made. I don't really consider myself to be an artist, so it's nice to remind myself that, like, okay, but even so, like, you've still made art, you know? So anyway, this is actually such a painful position to be in. Thank you so much for watching my video, and don't forget to use code NECPIZZA for 10% off at checkout at your local skin tone balloon store. If you do decide to do your own version of my balloon project with your own skin tone balloons, you have to credit me, because if you don't, it's art theft and you're going to go to jail and then prison and then hell. Okay, I love you so much, bye.